So the fantastic thing about the Green Economy Network's MillionClimate jobs is that it helps us in the transition in several ways. It gets the investment from government. It sets up the plan so that government invests in the sectors that we need to invest in. It will help us accelerate a reduction in our greenhouse gas emissions, and it will provide workers jobs to ease their anxiety and to counter the narrative that it's the environment or the economy. So this won't necessarily make a difference in small towns where the coal mines are closing or the coal plants are closing, but what this will help is the broader anxiety. There will need to be different transition plans for specific workers in really highly affected industries. So we know we've heard that critique before, but this isn't a solution to everything, but it's a fantastic piece of the puzzle and what it will do. So if you look at the materials that we have back on the table there, we've separated it out into 3 types of climate jobs, looking at what we need in the Canadian economy. And if you look at green energy, we have a capacity across this country. Different regions have different capacities. So in Saskatchewan, where I'm from originally, there's lots of wind and solar capacity. In Atlantic Canada, there's wind and tidal. In other places, they've already got hydro and they're doing fantastic green, almost completely from clean energy in certain areas, like, say, Manatoba. And so what we've done is we've looked at what the capacity is across Canada for these different types of renewable energy, how much it would cost, what the gaps are, and how many jobs it would create if we put the needed investment there. And in terms of green buildings, that is, every time I talk to Marnie, if I'm going to talk to the media about the environment, she said, tell them that 90% of the buildings in Canada are not energy efficient. This is the most low-hanging fruit of all. If we train workers to go across Canada and retrofit buildings, that pays for itself. So this is, again, where Manitoba has a fantastic initiative, which is called Pay As You Go. So the province will pay for it up front, and then on your bill, you have savings right away, and this savings on your bill pays for the cost of the retrofit. So you're reducing your greenhouse gas emissions right away, you're reducing your energy costs right away, and it pays for itself. So when we have something like this that's such a huge gap, and the barrier is education for people even knowing that that's a thing that they need to do, and money, the upfront money. This is a perfect example of where the government can step in and play a significant role in providing that upfront money, creating those jobs, making sure that training is, that those are good jobs, that those aren't precarious jobs, because they need to have the health and safety and the wage protections that we have in the United States to make sure that we're not, that we're not disadvantaging or taking advantage of workers who are desperate for work. So we want to make sure that these are good jobs and that they're that workers are proud of their jobs. And there are unions in British Columbia, the insulators, who are doing training. When they're doing their apprenticeship training, they're telling them, when you do this, you're helping save the climate. This is how you're lowering greenhouse gas emissions. And when the workers know that when they do a good job, they're protecting the environment, they do an even better job, and they take pride in their job. So these are some of the ways that unions can play a role in improving and filling this huge gap that we have. And then the final gap that Canada has, if you look at the material that we have at the back, you can see China is planning almost 9,000 kilometers of high-speed rail, and Canada is planning 0. And we're huge, and we build the cars that they're using in China. Like, we have the capacity to do this, we have the need to do this. Again, what we're looking for is a change from the current mentality where everybody has a car and will drive across the country. and to using the high-speed rail and having that investment there. And then with the transit, we create the jobs in several ways. We create the jobs by building the rail cars, we create the jobs by driving the rail cars, and it ends up not only lowering our greenhouse gas emissions, but improving productivity, lowering congestion, and there are health outcomes because people are not breathing in the terrible air. So this is what I really like and I'm excited about by the Green Economy Network platform. It fills a big gap and it accelerates our transition to a clean economy while making jobs that are good for workers. Thank you.